Going on to you, Geminis. So you have the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Cups, and then you have the Devil card. Very ironic and interesting. Because the Devil is 6, 1 plus 5, right? The Devil is 15. In the major arcana, 1 plus 5 is 6. 7 is the number that prevails over the Devil. Very interesting. You have the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Just very interesting back to back, right? But what I'm seeing here for you, Geminis, is that okay, you got that card too. I see you Geminis basically being able to pick and choose. A lot of you are not with anybody right now. A lot of you Geminis are like, look, uh, you're gonna go after what you want. You tried being humble. A lot of you Geminis tried being humble in the sense of, not really going after everything that you want and trying to see if that will work. And I just see that a lot of you Geminis are like, look, you're not gaining anything from actually being too humble, right? You're not gaining anything from not doing what you want to do. And so there's a sense of you Geminis being a lot more liberated because now you Geminis are humble, but you're going to continue to go after what you want. You're going to go after what you want. You're going to go after that. And a lot of people don't like that. I might as well just say what it is. A lot of people don't like it because them not being with you, they look at it like you gonna get what you want. And they're upset because you Geminis aren't with them in particular. But it don't matter because again, they should have had common sense when they're around you. They should have moved like that. They should have been on point when they were around you. They had the opportunity, they blew it, and now you Geminis have a lot more confidence, and you're going after what you want, because your life experiences basically have made you brave. They've made a lot of you Geminis brave. You realize that, pretty much there's not a lot of value in being, trying to just, make yourself scared to ask for what it is that you want or scared to go after what you want. And so it's made you Geminis quite brazen or brave. And so you're going after what you want, and when past significant others having a lot of fun, especially if they have you through social media, especially if you have one, especially if they see you around. Maybe the two of you live in the same town or whatnot, or in the same city, and they may see you from somewhere or whatever. They don't like that because they see you doing you. Anyway, the King of Pentacles and the Judgment, again, here they are casting judgment. The exes don't like to see you doing you, but you Geminis are having so much fun. It's like they sitting in the peanut gallery. They're basically standing by watching you Geminis live your life. Tight, upset, mad that you Geminis are just doing what you want to do. Because you figured it out that there's no point in kind of holding there's no point in holding back too much, because then you're not going to be able to live your life and have fun, right? And all of this stuff will make sense. Don't worry about it. And so the things that the Six of Wands now and the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Swords, right? And that's another thing too. A lot of you Geminis may not be committed right now. Some of you Geminis may be trying to see if you can get committed, where like you getting to know someone, right? But the brand new person who you Geminis could be getting to know is flyer than this person that you stopped talking to. Don't worry, all of that stuff will make sense. They're so far so good. They're flyer. They're better than what the people that you were hanging out with. So not only did you leave these losers that you stopped basically hanging out with because they wanted to control you, and oh, I can't get with this, and you Geminis have to go back to being like this if you want to be with them. You Geminis said, okay, forget about them, right? Forget about them. That's what you Geminis did. You Geminis was like, okay, forget about them. And then you went off, and then you found someone brand new. And so far, so good. Things are actually going well. And they may end up turning out to be even better than the last person who you was kicking it with, that wanted to act like they had so much power and control and all this stuff, and telling you what to do. And a lot of that stuff was uncalled for, right? Because here you Geminis are getting better spiritually. They don't want you to be better spiritually. They want you a particular way where they have control over you. And now they're upset because they don't have access to you emotionally the way that they used to. That's the problem, because that's what this whole journey is about. You've been getting better spiritually, and so now your spirit is stronger than theirs. They can't just eat your personality. They just can't come around you Geminis and be like, oh, and because you like them, you look through that. Because Gemini, y'all are a zodiac sign that will look through a lot of things sometimes. You'll hang out with people, and then like people will go off on you. And like you Geminis will sit back and take it sometimes and not say anything, but just kind of watch it, how like you thought that the person whom you so close to is cool with you, and then they spaz out on you like that, and then the next thing you know, you Geminis are kind of shocked. I've seen that before. I've seen that type of stuff play itself out before. I've seen it sometimes before. And why that's so important in the first place is because now you Geminis don't have to do that. So it's one of two things is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing you Geminis either have someone new, that's better than the person that wanted to change you, and i.e. convert you back to being where you were, where things weren't as good. And either that, or you kind of getting to know some fly ones, right? Some bad ones. And you seeing that, they come in flavors, but you doing your single thing, It's not that you're not looking. It's just that even though on the outside looking in, they fly, they have issues. So what are you Geminis doing? Instead of you allowing them to bring you down, stress you out, you Geminis are getting rid of them. And what it looks like is, it just look like you Geminis are players from the outside looking in. But no, y'all Geminis are out here, right? 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. That's why I said that it'll make sense, right? Because of the King of Swords. You have your head on. You're looking to see if a person is a good option. But it makes sense. It comes back full circle, because this is why, I was talking about the ex, because they see you Geminis doing your thing and getting it together. They don't like that you doing your thing, right? Because to them, they should be there with you, having control over you and all of this, quote unquote, control, if that's what they want to call it, right? Quote unquote. And so what's going on here is they don't have access to you Geminis the same way that they used to a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, right? Maybe they could have figured something to say that you Geminis may have faltered, but not anymore. Because you Geminis stood your ground. Look, if they can't accept you Geminis the way that you are, they can't be in your life. And here they are being upset because now it's, oh, well, word, I'm going to leave. And you Geminis is like, all right, right? Bye. You left them alone. And they tight, they upset. Because again, the delusion of you're not going anywhere, but no, you are, because you've been out with some ones. You Geminis have been out with some ones. You've been doing your thing, and they may have been seeing or hearing about, People who do stuff like this, they usually like to keep tabs. They don't really just throw you away. See, it's a game. They don't throw you away. They just like to make it seem like they throwing you away, but they still keeping tabs on you. That's why it don't make sense, because it's perception versus reality. The perception is, you don't need me. I don't need you. You need me. These are people who are weirdos. They don't want to get along the right way. For whatever made up reason, they just don't want to get along the correct way, right? So the mentality that they have is, you need me, I don't need you. And then the whole consistency of the relationship, right? Or the majority of it after a certain amount of time is trying to convince you that, or the victim, that they don't need you. So they start moving weirdly. They start doing a bunch of goofy stuff and all this stuff. And they don't actually really throw you away. It's just the illusion that they throw you away. That's the reason why it's like they'll disappear for some time, then they'll come back and all this stuff, because for them, they never lose touch. They never delete your number out of their phone. For the majority, some of them may do it in a real wild situation, but the vast majority of the times, 9 times out of 10, they never delete your number out of their phone. They never do that. It's always a matter of, they just want you to think that they threw you away. And that's what's happening here. This is why it's so important. Because you Geminis took them playing like they're so almighty and all of this. You took it like, all right, okay. Because they shouldn't be saying stuff that they don't actually mean in the first place. And so you Geminis is like, all right, you gonna do your thing. Because again, they don't want to get along with you conventionally, right? They could be with you, but they don't want to do that. It's like the Virgo that I was trying to kick away. I asked her, if she wanted to go to the movie. This was years ago, but I asked her if she wanted to go to the movies, and she was like, yeah. And then the day of, she basically go missing. You know what I'm saying? She's MIA. And then I see her or whatnot, and she's like, how come you ain't been calling? I heard, how come you ain't been calling my phone, even though I have been calling the phone? So I was just upset. I was just like, yeah, I deleted your number out of my phone because you had the opportunity. Still to this day, she stalks me. She gets upset if she sees me talking to somebody else. But it's like, but that's the stupidity. You had the opportunity to get with me. You didn't want to. So what are you so upset at? We could have been at the movies, chilling. We could have potentially been in a relationship. What are you doing? And it's like, that's what's going on with you. So they don't ever actually really get rid of you, right? It's just that they give off the illusion because they're cowards. They go into hiding. They give themselves a break, but in their mind, oh, I'm coming back to you. But this time, you Geminis made these people, your exes, look stupid, because it's hard for them to come back if you got somebody else. And technically, they can be upset if they want to, but they can't be upset with justification because they ain't want you Geminis, remember? So let's clarify the 6 of Cups. This is the definition of what I mean when I say play stupid games, win stupid prizes. 3 of Gabriel, Queen of Ariel, Queen of Gabriel, the Epiphany, and then the 10 of Gabriel, which is, to clarify the 6 of Cups, to clarify the 6 of Cups, which is them coming back. They thought that you would be there. At least that's the delusion that they wanted to. But they don't, again, this is when I say normal, this is what I mean when I say healthy people, because they just expected you to do what? Wait around forever? Well, apparently, because the The entitlement is, oh, I'm still entitled to you, Geminis. No matter how many years go by, I still love you. So you should drop everything and come rock with me. And it's like, no, that's not how life works. You know, the Epiphany and the Ten of Gabriel represents, and that's the epiphany that they're having to deal with. You know, they have to now directly confront the idea that they see you Geminis out with some bad ones, with some fly ones, you know, and you've moved on. Ten of Gabriel, it's a doozy for them to get over that one. They got a problem with that. You've moved on. So now they got to act like they've moved on too when you tell them no. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Maybe I may get into some other stuff, right? The next time I do the Gemini reading and calls for it, I'll get deeper. But that's pretty much it for now. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. I'm at 21,724 subs. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Peace.